Hey y'all, my name is Penny Larson. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a really quick, really simple lesson on opening hi-hat with 4 on the floor with a bass drum with that kind of pea soup disco kind of thing. I'm working on some open hi-hat stuff with one of my students, and she found this cool groove, and I thought I would make a lesson for her, but I thought it was general interest enough that I would share it with y'all as well. So the finished product we're going to end up with is 16th notes on the hi-hat, 2 and 4 on the snare, opening the hi-hat on the ands, and 4 on the floor with the bass drum. And there's 2 different ways we're going to get there. The first is to start with our feet, playing all 4 quarter notes together, and that sounds like this. And now we've got to add our hands in. And the first thing we're going to do is add just an 8th note ride pattern on the hi-hat and 2 and 4 on the snare with our left hand. And that sounds like this. If you have any trouble with that, you can start your feet first and then add your hands in. You should have enough experience playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with your hands that once your feet are going, you can kind of just jump in. And that sounds like this. Next, I'm going to do that part just with my right hand. So I'm going to play the same notes that my hand was playing, but now I'm going to do everything with my right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that means 2 and 4 are going to get skipped on the hi-hat. But because we're playing on the snare, that'll get buried and you won't miss it. That sounds like this. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle, we're going to add, everything's going to stay the same, and we're going to add our left hand in on the offbeat 16th notes. So my right hand is still going to come to the snare on 2 and 4, but now the left hand is going to be filling in those 16th notes. And that sounds like this. And you can do the same thing. If you have trouble, you can start your feet first and then jump in with your hands. And that sounds like this. So I mentioned we could start in the other direction. And this is going to be kind of the opposite. I'm going to start my hands first and then add my feet. If you've been able all along to just start both parts at the same time, you won't need this. But this is, if you're having a little bit of trouble, if the coordination is getting weird, this is how you can kind of jump in, right? Of course, like anything, you can slow it way down until you can just, play each note, think about what comes next and hit it, right? but this is for when you want to try and actually get to the point of making it sound like a groove that flows. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my hands though, and we'll skip the 2 8th note parts. I'll just start with my 16th notes and the snare, and then I'll add my feet after 2 bars. That sounds like this. We're going to have a little bonus because while we've got both feet going on 4 on the floor, there's one more simple ostinato we can do with our hands, and that is just to play the offbeat 8th notes with our right hand. So we catch that opening hi-hat, and then when it closes, you get the chick from it closing, but we get that we still get that sound. It sounds a little different than if you're playing all the 8th notes on your hand. That sounds like this. Okay, so like I said, just something real simple, real quick today. This whole play both your feet together at the same time thing is kind of like, if you're having trouble with these patterns, this is like a secret weapon, right? Like, oh my goodness, I didn't think of that. I didn't realize that both feet are just playing quarter notes, glunk, glunk, glunk. There's a lot of things you can do if your feet are marching too, right? So if you play 1 and 3 with the bass drum and 2 and 4 with the hi-hat, or flip it, right? 1 and 3, 2 and 4, and then it feels like you're turning it around and it gets weird. But there's a lot of really simple things you can do with your feet to get your left foot involved in your, what we want to call this 4-way independence and coordination, right? Okay, so thanks for joining me today. Lots of stuff is going to be coming in 2021, so fingers crossed. I will see you again real soon. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. Bye.